Nice recruiters really do finish last. Let me explain to you exactly what I mean. There's three things that categorize you as a nice recruiter. Number one, do you accept MSP VMS business? Number two, are you a pleasantry person? Are you constantly feeling the need to talk about and exchanging pleasantries in your voicemails, in your emails? And number three, you accept job orders for under 20%. Let's talk about number one, the Vms Msp model. I am very familiar with this structure. I worked for a very large staffing company years ago, and I managed all of their Fortune 500, Fortune 100 MSP VMS companies, including American Express, LexisNexis, Charles Schwab, the list goes on. And I have to tell you, it is the worst model in recruiting and staffing for so many reasons. So if you are a person that's working within a VMS system, especially if you're a small to medium-sized staffing company, here's what you're agreeing to do. You're agreeing to work for very low margins. You're agreeing to compete with probably 50 to 100 other staffing vendors that are getting that same requisition that you're receiving. You're agreeing in most cases that you cannot communicate with their hiring managers, and you're agreeing to a scorecard, which is the biggest joke in the world. Basically, most people who control these MSP VMS companies are derived from one of the larger staffing companies, and they weren't able to make it on the agency side, doing what you're doing right now. So instead, they're on a power trip, and they're giving out orders and telling you what you can and can't do like a teacher, and it's nothing but a headache. Run for the hills. Don't be a nice recruiter. Don't say yes to that model. There's plenty of other requisitions that you can get out there that are not VMS, MSP related. Don't do it. Number two, we talked about pleasantries. So are you the kind of person that when you make a voicemail and you get that manager or candidate on the phone, do you talk about the weather? Do you ask how they're doing? Let's be honest, you don't care how they're doing. You don't wake up this morning and say to yourself, I can't wait to call Bob Smith at IBM and ask how he's doing. No, you're waking up thinking to yourself, I have 10 videos to do, maybe 20 cold emails, some cold calls, because I need to get a job order and I need to close some business and make some money. Okay, that's what you're thinking, let's be honest. So enough with the pleasantries. It causes distrust in the beginning when you ask someone how their weekend was, how they're doing, how's the weather, hey, where do you live? You know, you don't care about that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying to be rude on the opening of the phone call, but there's a much better way to get into it to establish confidence. It's all about posture and positioning, which I teach my members. That's a whole nother video. But again, don't be the pleasantry person. Regarding your emails, don't start off with, hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? I would love to. Stop using the word love. Stop saying hellos in your emails. Get right to the point. Let the client know exactly what you do, niche it down, and solve their problem. They don't care about you. They care about what they have, what their challenges are, and how you can help them, okay? The third thing is, if you're taking business for under 20%, that's weak, all right? Stop doing it. I see recruiting coaches out there telling people to take recs for 10%, 15%. I'm talking about if you're doing retained search or direct hire or engaged search. For those of you that do contract to hire, different story. But even on that side, stop taking bill rates with a margin of less than $10 now. So those of you that are accepting fees under 20%, let me tell you why that's being Mr. Nice Guy. Because candidates are hard to find right now. Those clients can't find them. They have no clue the amount of work that you do every day. So you need to paint a picture for them. I often say on my calls, on my discovery calls with my clients when I take a new position, Mr. Manager, I wish you could sit in my office, tomorrow and see what our process is and exactly what we do from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. So much work goes into your business. You'd be really surprised. Say things like that. Get them understanding who you are and have them walking in your shoes. Otherwise, they don't really care. Okay, so they need to understand how valuable you are. When you accept a fee for 15% or 10%, you're immediately showing the client that you're not valuable. They can walk all over you. So stop being Mr. Nice Guy. And I say this because if any of you are dating right now, or if you have dated, if you're married, you understand that nice guys finish last. We've all heard that saying, and it's true, okay? There's a reason for that, because it's from a position of weakness. Give people an element of surprise, just like in dating. Humans want, what they can't have. And if you're different, if you're not like every other recruiter, I promise you that'll come across on your phone call, on your email, and your client will be intrigued. They'll like your pizzazz, they'll like your swag, and they'll want to work with you. Okay, give it a shot.